Oh. You ever scrolling through Facebook late at night and you see a car and you go, "Ooh, that's kind of cool. Let's, let's click on that ad and take a look at it," and you go, "Oh, hey, that it's local. Wonder how much they want for it." Wow, that's kind of a reasonable price for it. Let me just send them a quick little message real quick. See if maybe just pop out, take a look at it, and a couple days later, you're trying to explain to your wife why you got another car in the garage. Yeah, that's it's happened. I think to several of us over the years. So we did it again. We picked up, you see behind me, this 84 GLH. It's a carbureted 2.2. At some point in its life, it was rally race out in the southeast side of Ohio, West Virginia area. According to some of the booklets and stuff that came with the car and some of the stickers and stuff's on it. The gentleman I bought it from, he rally crossed it a few times. Said at one point the guys at the rallycross thought that they was going to have to get out and push him. He said the car was so slow, but like I said, it is a carb 2.2. I drove it home. He would end up being about 14 miles away from my house. He kind of looked at me funny when I told him I would just drive it home. Of course, I'd rather drive it home, even if it was a little sketchy, than to pay for a tow. But it runs great, brakes great. The outside body of it's not too bad. It's actually, if I was going to compare it, I think it's a little bit better on the outside than my 85 GLH turbo. But there's some issues. Yeah, there's a couple little issues with it. So let's get this thing fired up. We'll bring it out and give you a little walk around of everything. All right, so here it is. Again, it's an 84 GLH. It's got possibly my most favorite rims, the Swiss cheese 4-lug rims. Absolutely love it. You can see from the outside, paint's faded, but there's no big rust holes in the normal outside spots. Again, paint's a little faded. There's one of the SCCA Ohio Valley stickers, Ohio Valley region. I believe over here, another SCCA sticker. The B first, that was from the previous owner from a rallycross he won up at Blitzer's Farm, I believe he said it was. Not super familiar with rallycross. I did a little bit of autocross for a while, but not the rallycross. You can see the stripes that were on it at one time on this side a lot better than you can the other. And I gotta lie, I really, really like the stripes that are on it. And there's some other stripes on the hood. So we got the, looked like probably there was a black and silver straight stripe down and then some smaller ones. And of course, it wouldn't be a race car without hood pins. But it's also got these really cool headlight protectors. Along with, it used to be a sunroof car, but with the rallycross, you can't, or rallying in general, you can't have a sunroof, so it's just been blocked off. And we'll show you the inside of that. As you can tell earlier, it fired right up. No problems with it running. Runs great. Like I said, I drove it. It's got a, I'm pretty sure it's a 525, and it's maybe hard to see down in there. Yeah, you can't really see. But it's already got Heim joint on the shift linkage. AC's deleted. Other than that, I think it's pretty stock. At some point, someone added this kind of neat strut tower brace. Definitely interesting. I don't know if I've seen anything quite like that before. But pretty solid car on the outside. I am, there's another SCCA sticker. I'm real happy with it. There's a couple little spots up on the roof line where it's starting to rust a little bit here and here. My Omni's doing the same thing, but this is not nearly as bad as my black car. My black car is pretty bad on the other side. So let's take a look at the real problems with this car. And of course, this door handle doesn't work, so let's get it from the inside. Where the roll cage used to be welded in, we got some pretty serious rust. This floor pan's not terrible. The passenger side is definitely a lot worse. Probably some of the worst of it is back here. Again, I'm taking a gamble on this car that I'm going to have the ability to cut this out and patch it. I've always wanted to learn or try to do that. So I figured a pretty cheap Omni would be the way to go. When you get back up into where the passenger seat pans and stuff are, it's pretty good. There's some spots in the back where the cage was bolted in, but those don't seem too rusted out. So I'd say pretty much everything from where the passenger seat mounts back is pretty good. It's all in the passenger floor pans and then the front floor pans. You can see this neat little thing where they took the glove box out, and that's where the timer box, I think he said, used to be. So that's pretty cool. Of course, it's got a tack in it because most L bodies, the tack doesn't work. Same thing with the driver's side. This is why he was kind of surprised I said I would just drive it home, was because he had all the seats and everything out. So we bolted this seat in, and it's only bolted in 3 spots. But YOLO, man, I didn't think it was that dangerous. But you can see here, pretty big rust areas back in here. And I believe right above where the rear suspension mounts, we're probably going to have to address this. Now, I did get up underneath the car, and we're probably going to have to pull the skirts off because the rockers, the outer rockers don't look that bad, but the inners, I think, are going to have to go. They're going to have to be replaced. There's a little side exit. Let me see if I can get a good shot. It's pretty dry out. I'll lay down on the ground. Yeah, the frame rails don't look that bad. All the lines, brake lines and stuff, are going to have to be fixed up. I'm going to have to put a quieter exhaust on this, because that's literally a little cherry bomb on a side exit. It's a little that's a little much. Um, I did notice the other day when I was looking at this, it's got some neat mud flaps, and it's kind of, I don't know if you can read it, but they're direct connection mud flaps, which is pretty cool. So that's the car. And here's this other project still sitting there. So let's sit down for a minute and talk about what we're going to do with this thing. So what's the plan with this car? Well, I want to fix the floors. Like I said, it's something I've always wanted to do. Learn how to weld in floor pans. So we're going to need to get a welder. We got a little flux core welder, but from everything I've researched and read, that the flux core is not very good for thin sheet metal. It just burns too hot. We've welded a few exhaust pipes and miscellaneous things around the house with it, and it actually does really good. I mean, it's the $100 um, flux core welder from Harbor Freight, so it actually does pretty good for what it is. But we're going to need to get a gas MIG in order to do these pans. So that's going to be first on the list. I don't know if we're going to get that done right away, but we'll keep you updated. Then we're going to get some sheet metal and start cutting out the rust and see how far it goes and see what we can clean up. And I think this is a good car to start. I've always wanted to make automotive content on my YouTube. If you search back, there's a little bit of automotive stuff here or there, not too terribly much. Most of it's gaming. The older I am getting, the less I'm into the gaming. Let's just put it that way. So that's the plan, and future plans beyond fixing the floors and getting it to drive again. I know a lot of people are going to ask, are you going to turbo swap it? No, probably not. The little carb 2.2 runs really good, and it's really interesting. I've never had one. So just out of curiosity, I'd like to drive that around for a while, for the foreseeable future. If that ever goes out, then we'll look at maybe turbo swapping it. And the chassis is a lot straighter than my black car. The black car has been hit at some point in time, so it's one of the front frame rails is a little bent. It was an $800 car I bought off eBay 18 years ago, and it still runs and drives, and I could get in it and go anywhere. So it doesn't bother me. So I have that car if I want to drive something turbo. The New Yorker's turbo. My son's got a 90 Daytona that's turbo. So we got plenty of turbo cars. Hell, my daily driver, my 2021 Kia is turbocharged. So plenty of turbocharged cars. We don't need to mess with that one at this point, because if we turbo it, we'd have to get a better transmission, wiring, just get the motor in general. So no turbo for the foreseeable future. Like I said, I would like to get the rust fixed, and then I'm actually, probably before we start in on the rust, I want to look at seeing if that paint will buff out. It's pretty faded. You got some rust spots, but I think it'd make kind of a cool little patina look. If the floor pans turn out good and all the rocker repairs and all that stuff, we may look at repainting the whole car, but that's many, many years down the road. I think we're going to also probably dig into the New Yorker a little bit. It's been pretty much sitting for the whole year we moved into this new house, so it's time to get that thing on the road. The black Omni, the 85, runs great. We got a few little maintenance things we need to do on it. So if you made it this far through all my ramblings, thanks. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. I think we're going to dial back on the gaming for now and see how the car stuff goes. So if you were here initially for gaming, I'm sorry, but this is kind of what we're going to turn into. And if you need more stuff to watch, click up here or down here. We'll put some videos, some other of the older car stuff on there if you want to take a look at that. Other than that, thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.